whole set.
Yeah.
I really love the color.
Oh, that was a hard one.
Was it?
Not really.
Can you
It was
tell me what it is? What color it is?
It's called a Hague blue.
Hey, it's Pharaoh.
Hague.
Is it
Pharaoh
Benjamin
and the
Moore?
ball. Pharaoh and ball, and then we color matched it. So we didn't pay the price.
That's my whole house is
Leisha-
Pharaoh and Ball, but not Pharaoh and
Thank
Ball.
you.
Right.
Leisha got mad at me because I publicly declared that you go to Farrow and Ball, you buy your samples, you find what you like, and then you take it to Catalina Paints and you say, "Can I match this?"
And they say yes.
But I'll tell you why, because we do ads, and I was like, "What if Pharaoh and
What
Ball
if
was like,
oh my
Pharaoh
gosh,
and-
yeah.
would have given you money?"
Farrow and Ball ain't calling us. I'm not
know,
worried
but
about it.
Catalina Paint might and big fucking deal.
You know what? I'd be psyched
I'd be
because I have
psyched, too.
I have a contracting account with them.
Do you
How did
really?
you get that?
Because I have bought so much shit from them because we just built a house last year.
You did.
And we just finished, and so
Are you rolling? This is good shit, Val. Okay.
Oh,
So-
we're rolling?
so we're rolling?
Well, let's introduce.
Well, no, I want to finish the story.
Okay.
We were building this house, and because of that, I ran to Catalina Paints like 15
All the time.
times a
Yeah.
week, and the guy was like,
You need a contract.
he's like, "Do you have a number connected to us?" And I go, "No, I don't. I've just been paying." He's like, "Let me give you a contractor account
This-
because
Yeah.
you're
I
here
feel
all the
sad
time."
for myself right now because I spent so much money there. They never did this for me.
Did you talk to the same guy?
And-
Are you
No,
nice when you go in?
Oh, I'm
lovely.
You're really nice. And
No,
who
I
knows?
think
Who
they're
knows?
shocked
I know,
about
yeah,
seeing
maybe.
women in these stores
Yeah,
because
I'll
it's
bet.
all the workers, it's all
yeah.
the contractors, and then a girl walks in. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Hey, can I get this matched, or can I look at the cabo stain, or whatever?"
the cabo
Yeah.
stain.
And they're just like, "Yeah, sure." And they get used to seeing you. It's. I do the one in North Hollywood, so it's not completely crowded.
Right. Good.
But yeah, so I would love.
She's
an
on the
ad.
edge of her seat.
No, and I because I
Yeah.
love this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not good at this stuff, but I love it.
So are you DIY? Tell
well,
us about your house.
my wife is DIY.
Really?
What does your
DIY.
wife do in terms of DIY?
She.
What's her skill level?
Oh my God, she can wallpaper. First of all, she's the cutest little thing you've ever seen.
I met her. She's
You think-
lovely.
isn't she? And she kind of talks like this. She's very perky. She's got red hair and cute little figure, and kind of does this a lot. And she's a giggler, and she can wallpaper.
What?
She can recover, reupholster.
What?
She
Hold
takes things
up.
apart and puts them back together.
Like what?
Oh gosh, what is she? God, let me think. What is
Furniture?
Yeah.
Or-
For sure, furniture.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. She can build stuff. But like, she took apart the dishwasher because the things weren't spinning the way they were supposed to, and there was something blocking it. There was a hose blocking it. And she said, and I said, did you call the guy? And she said,
Yeah.
oh, I fixed it. That happens all the
Did
time.
you see her do it? Do you watch her do it?
I do watch. She's a lefty, so it's kind of fun to watch that she has so much skill with her left hand,
Ah, yes.
which is an amazing thing to
She
watch.
can wallpaper
She can wallpaper.
That's not easy.
yeah.
No.
She did our bathroom.
by herself.
By
she
her-
wallpa-
yeah.
I would love to know the technique because we have a wall that we need
matching.
wallpaper, and we've been putting it off. And the other day,
Are you matching a print?
I will be. Yes. I'm not fully sold on which one I want to choose, but yes, there will be a print.
It'll be
involved.
a print. Well, if it's a recurring print, that's actually kind of easier. We had ours is like a mural. It's like a pelican. And then it's like somebody painted a mural. So
I love a
really
bird.
had to match.
A bird in
in a
wallpaper
bathroom
makes
is
me.
great.
Yeah.
And
And there's
standing up. What is it called? An igloo or not a pelican? I don't know what it is, but it's a very attractive, tall, lanky bird.
There's not much.
Is it the flamingo?
Not a flamingo.
No,
Those are
okay,
pink.
they're
I don't
tall.
go for pink.
But there's not much
Okay.
forgiveness when you mess up on a wallpaper
none.
project,
You
right?
can't redo it. So,
No.
I mean, talk about, what do they say? Measure twice, cut once.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the
100
opposite.
times. You just go.
Sometimes my impulses are like, I'll just measure it later.
What is your moon sign?
Leo.
It's your moon or your sun?
No, my son's Capricorn and I'm Leo moon.
You're a Leo moon. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an Aries moon, which
Don't you
means I
remember
don't
you did
measure.
my
I did?
astrology chart about, Jane and I were neighbors.
I know you were.
Yes,
Remember
in
you
Laurel
went-
Canyon.
You got angry one day because I cut you off. And
Oh,
you went,
did it? Oh, and I didn't know it was you, right?
You didn't
And
know it
were
was
in-
me.
And you were in a
Kate.
little Mercedes.
Yeah, I was in
weren't you?
something. I was
Yeah,
in a little
Her
black
lawyer
car.
car.
A little
That's
black
what we
car.
called it.
My junior agent car.
Yeah,
is what
junior
my-
Thank God I
agent.
didn't go.
You did something because I saw you go dun, dun, dun.
Well, you have rules in the canyon where
Yes.
who has to wait? The person going uphill or downhill? Someone has to pull over.
I think downhill is allowed to go because you've got some momentum going.
Yes, it's down.
Okay.
But we were down at the bottom.
We were at the bottom.
Lookout
I think
and
I was being an asshole, and
You
I made
probably-
a quick turn. Is really
I've been
what
in the
it
car
is.
with you many
Yeah.
a time.
You were coming off Stanley Hills. weren't you?
Correct.
That's when you cut me off.
That's when
'Cause
I
I was
cut you
on
off.
lookout and you went,
I was an asshole back then. I drive much more consciously now.
Well,
but
you
And
you
to
were a
make
young
Jane
Hollywood star,
upset.
too.
Right.
What, Leisha? What?
I was saying to cut you off. You're like the nicest person.
I didn't realize
Not
it. I was
really.
just in a rush and I made a shitty right turn and I saw this in my rearview mirror and I did feel bad in the moment. And I thought, oh shit, because I probably didn't see you because I was being a dick and wasn't paying attention. Then it came to pass that it was you.
Yes.
I recall apologizing profusely.
I'm sure I accepted it.
And then you did my
And I
astrology
did your
chart.
chart. Let's see what this bullshit
yeah,
is.
totally. Why'd she do it?
Yeah. Well, Leo is a pretty stable moon.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fixed. It's a fixed. I thought maybe if it was Aries, which is mine, where I just am impulsive and do things that I end up regretting.
Where does the impulsivity then?
What's your rising sign?
Leo.
Oh, it is. Oh, you are. Yeah, you are bright and shiny. You are. You walk into a room and everybody knows she doesn't even have to say.
No.
You've come. It's true. It's what
Yeah.
you have. It's your magic that you were given this.
It's the magic.
Yeah.
The magic. Thank you.
You're quite
But I'm
welcome.
curious where that impulsivity. You kind of do the same, actually.
Do what?
You
Leisha-
seem kind of impulsive too.
Leisha gets a
How did I get this?
because I've built many a project with you.
Really?
And and Leisha will be like, it's close enough.
Oh yeah, no, I
oh,
don't
yeah.
wait for I can't the
Let's not
measuring
belabor
thing.
this.
And also, I don't understand the fragments.
Oh, they're
So we do like dots. It's like, okay, so it's like 14 and a half and 2 dots. You know what I mean?
Well, at least that's a measurement. I don't even go that far. I
Kinda,
just go,
yeah.
this is fine.
Yeah.
Well, your house is beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
It's
I
a
mean, it's
beautiful
just
house.
aesthetically so
Thanks.
pleasing. I don't have the skill, but I have the appreciation.
I appreciate your appreciation.
Yeah.
Thank
you don't live in LA anymore.
No, I live in Montecito.
And how is it? What made you want to get out?
Well, it was COVID, and
Uh-huh.
I knew I wanted to retire to Montecito, and I realized Jennifer said to me, "You know, you're 60," and I said, "Oh, I
Right.
can start thinking about retiring now."
Retirement.
And so we, of course, as soon as I said, "Let's do it," she found the house. She's so good at stuff like this.
That's like my I'm married to someone with the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
She just finds it all.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I
What's
have
next?
but
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you didn't retire.
I didn't retire.
And you're not
no.
are you going to? Because
I
I
don't
hope
know.
you don't.
There is less.
I don't want you to retire.
Oh, well, thank you for
Selfishly-
that. There's less that white hot ambition, which is actually kind of a relief not to have that. But also, I don't know what else I would do. I've just become very, a little bit bored. And I live, I love my neighbors. Like I spent the election with my neighbors, and I go out to dinner with them, and everybody's so lovely. I walked out. I'm like the mayor of Montecito. Hello,
Yeah.
hello. I know everybody, just from because I'm friendly. So you sit and I'll like join somebody for coffee. And
Right.
Wait, you're bored. You're
That's what I was
bored in
gonna
life
ask.
or bored
I'm
with
a
your
little
career?
I'm a little bored in life. I'm not working that much. I was working a lot, and I thought I don't want to do this anymore. And then I got what I wanted,
And now you're
Okay,
kind of
wait.
bored.
and now I'm a little bored.
But you're on like the biggest hit TV show.
Yeah, but that was 6
Saspataki.
months ago.
So you got bored since you ended.
Yeah.
You get nudgy when you have nothing else
I
to
d-
do.
Yeah, and I have to find something else to do. I've been social, which is great. I really enjoyed being a neighbor and just a friend. And
How about hobbies?
I really don't have. I was telling Leisha that I listen to YouTube all day long, but I listen to like lectures. I listen to people who talk to me. I love astrology.
Yeah.
I love philosophy. I love near-death experience. Oh, I love stuff like that.
Oh, there's a
Yeah.
podcast that I heard. Oh, you probably already heard of it, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. It's in my phone where I was hearing a podcast of stories like that.
Oh, Chef Mara.
That could be. It
Yeah.
could be.
Why are you fascinated with that?
Well,
Did you have that happen?
no.
Okay.
No, but it's almost as if they've had a.
Well, I don't know.
No, you never know. Yeah.
You never know.
They have an insight into where we come from and what we're going to, and that this isn't everything.
Well, no.
No.
Do you have a fascination with death? Are you scared to die?
I'm not
Are you-
scared of dying. No,
Okay.
I'm afraid of suffering and pain and being
Yeah.
like stuffed into a trunk. Please don't. If you want to scare the fuck out of me and make me lose my mind, put me in a trunk.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm glad you said it publicly so we know not to do that.
Please
to
don't
Jane.
do that.
All right, Pants will be right back after these ads. Ever feel like your finances is like trying to keep too many plates spinning, Kate? No?
Oh, yeah.
There's always some
Always.
unexpected bill. I experienced this. Or a sneaky subscription you forgot about showing up out of nowhere. They make it intentionally hard to cancel.
And Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps. And Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings.
And my favorite part, not that you were asking, Kate, but canceling subscriptions has never been easier. A couple of taps and they're gone. No more searching for websites or dealing with endless customer service calls.
Exactly. The Rocket Money dashboard lays out all your expenses in one view. It's clear, it's simple, and you're always on top of what's going in and what's going out.
And setting a budget, it's so easy. You create custom categories and Rocket Money tracks your monthly spending patterns. It's basically like having a personal finance assistant right at your phone.
Hey, Leisha, did you know that 74% of people are paying for subscriptions they forgot about? I'm one of those 74%.
And I'm not
Now,
surprised by this
No.
statistic. Yeah.
No, and I bet you're not either. Now, with Rocket Money, I don't have to keep tabs on each one because everything's organized right there in front of me.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Imagine that money. Saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features.
So please stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/pants. That's rocketmoney.com/pants.
rocketmoney.com/pants. Hey everyone, we're so excited to introduce you to something that's completely transformed our skincare routines, right, Kate? OneSkin. It's changed the way we think about taking care of our skin.
Yes, Leisha, it is incredible. I've been using OneSkin for a little while now, and my skin feels so much smoother and it's more hydrated. Plus, it's easy to add into my personal daily routine because the science behind it, it's just fascinating.
Right? OneSkin was developed by a team of female longevity scientists. Didn't even know they existed, right? Instead of just hiding signs of aging, they go right to the source, targeting the problem on a cellular level. Their key ingredient, OS1 peptide, actually tackles those aging cells that start causing trouble as we get older.
Plus, it couldn't be simpler to use. All you do is cleanse, dry, and you apply twice a day. I'm using both the face and the eye creams, and they have slipped perfectly into my routine.
Nice. And if the idea of invasive treatments makes you hesitate, OneSkin is such a great alternative. It works with your body's natural processes, keeping your skin looking healthy and radiant with no drastic measures required.
OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer.
So get started today with 15% off using code PANTS at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code PANTS. Okay, so you're so you want to retire, but you're bored. So are you scared to retire because you don't know what to do?
I don't know. I'm really in a don't know. I don't know. I worry a little bit that I'll die penniless, and that's the worst.
I
way
think
to
we
die.
all fear that.
What is that, you guys?
But also, I think that's an Irish thing.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's a
kinda-
woman thing.
Maybe it could be a woman thing, a gay thing, a Hollywood thing, but it's also an Irish thing. I was raised with that kind of mentality.
Were you? Yeah.
A little bit on a very under the surface kind of way. Like always buy things, always find the discount, always find the sale.
Yeah.
But
it's
we had that too. We had that too. Or
What
sit
is
down
your
for a
ethnicity?
family meeting, like where everybody's like, well, we need to talk about like, you need soccer shoes, and Cater needed her like her dance
like
squad
financial stuff with your family?
We'd have, so it was always like, or dad's getting laid off, or it was like I was a part of that.
It's horrible for a
That's
kid.
major.
Yeah.
Well, but they needed we needed to know.
I like how they were
It
keeping
wasn't.
you on the same
they weren't
level.
scaring us. Yeah,
Right.
they were just kind of like, this is what it's like,
They were
right?
making
So
they were making you equals in terms of information,
Yeah.
not hiding it from the
Is
kids.
this how
Right.
just
To
your
be-
family was, or is it kind of a reflection of a cultural thing?
I think it was my family.
Yeah.
but
But it was
great.
like a Midwest. You're from Chicago. I'm from Nebraska. Like it's just that sort of, I don't know, like that small town mentality.
Yeah.
I didn't come from a small town. I came from a city, and it was just sort of ingrained of just always be mindful of
Always
that.
be mindful of that.
Always.
Yeah, yeah.
Always.
Why do you think you've been working your whole life?
And my parents never talked about money in front of us, and I know that they were worried at times, but they didn't want to worry us. So that was, was kind of ignorance is bliss, I guess. But I do have a thing. I mean, I could point to a thing in my chart. I have Pluto in the second house, which means where's mine? I got to make sure I've got it. I've got to hoard it away. I've got to hold on to it just in case. But also, I think in this culture, in this country, we don't take care of our old people.
No, we don't.
We
We're
don't
very
at
aggressive
all.
towards them as
Yeah,
well.
we throw them into these homes where they don't get taken care of. I'll go get a massage at a spa, and they're like, "Is this soft? I've got a heated mattress for you, and here you can put this on your face. Is that all right? Does that feel good?" And my aunt is in one of these homes, and 3 hours. I don't even want to say. You go in there and you realize she's been sitting in something for a very long time.
No,
It's a good place.
It's my mom is 84. I think she's turning 84, one of the two this year. And she came to visit LA, and she's older, and there is an aggression towards the elderly where you can't expect. Everything's online now. Everything's through an app. Everything's through your phone. And she's not of that mentality.
Right, of course.
And so even just getting her to the airport, she said to my wife, Anna, I don't even know how to get a taxi anymore. And we were like, don't worry about it. So there is an aggression towards the older generation who can't keep up with this technology. And you can't expect them to.
No, right.
It's
Exactly.
like you're being left behind.
You're being fully left behind. Even I can't.
I mean, I'll take care of you.
But I worry because you have a hard time with
I know, and I'm
technology.
also
as well.
older. I'm older.
You're not it's blind leading the blind.
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
my wife is great. She's an Aquarian. She's got 6 planets in Aquarius. So she has Cancer rising. She said, if I didn't have
That's why
Cancer
you two
rising,
that's why you two are together. That's why you connect.
Exactly. And I'm Cancer rising too. In fact,
But
her
you're a
rising.
Cancer.
Yeah, I'm Cancer, Sun, Mercury, and Venus.
Cancer, Sun, Mercury. Wow. Okay.
I have three planets,
Leisha's
not the
a-
big ones.
So is she. She's
Oh yeah, that's
Cancer.
right.
Yeah,
You're a Cancer
yeah.
too. But she said if it weren't for her Cancer rising, we'd all be theory to her. So she understands all this stuff, So she's very. We have a really great kind of relationship where we help each other in areas where.
And she's your tech support.
Yeah, she's my IT department.
Very important
And
to
you're
have an
married
in-house
also
tech
that you're
support.
going to take care of each other
Yeah.
as you grow older.
Yeah, and hopefully they're not.
Doesn't that make you feel
marriage away.
better?
It does. I can't tell you how good it makes me feel that I am there for her. But more importantly, she is there for me. Because I will go first.
Damn right.
I will break down first.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I Wikipedia you this morning.
Did you?
On my deep research.
Yeah,
on
right.
Wikipedia.
Deep dive.
deep. And you know what I didn't realize about you? You wrote a book.
I did.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And
have
I
to
wanted
admit.
to ask how, because, we wrote a book.
No, I didn't know.
we
That's
just-
that's
so
it.
gay for you.
It's not out yet.
It comes out in June.
June 3rd.
But
you
you
can get
go-
it anywhere.
But you go,
at sogayforyou.com. Okay, go ahead.
say that again.
Sogayforyou.com.
That's it.
.com.
I want to know, since you've been through the process, you've been through the whole thing, how was it? How was it for you to do
Great.
that?
It's a different world now, I think.
How
Book
so?
world. This was 2010. So I literally went to cities for book signings. I don't know that they do that.
We're going to do it.
Oh, you're going to
So
do
they're
a
still
book
doing
tour?
it.
Oh, good. Because, it's so smart because that face-to-face thing is so important. But I think for a while they didn't do it. And then in COVID, you didn't do it at all. And I was thinking maybe they stuck with that. Because, a lot of things that happened during COVID we haven't gotten rid of yet, like
Right.
Zoom and stuff. That's why I said I wanted to come out here, even though it was an hour and 20 minutes.
I know.
No, it's so much better to be in person.
It
Yeah.
is.
It's the process,
The
of
process.
like writing a book. How was that for you?
It was awful.
Writing about yourself.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Weird,
not
right?
so hard. But no, and I will say
I'm fascinating.
I was
Is that what you were
married at
thinking?
the time, so it's
Okay.
easier. I think that you're together; it'll be easier. Do you have the same strengths or the different strengths?
us?
Yeah,
I think
Different.
Both.
Well-
I think both.
Yeah, we finished it. We already did it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're done.
We're done. I mean, we still have little tiny doopy doop edits to do.
Yeah.
sure, but the bulk
is
of it's
finished.
done. And how did
Yes.
that go?
It was hard.
We
Yeah.
That's why we wanted
It was
to
hard.
know.
Yeah.
We found it to be difficult.
Oh yeah, very
Like,
difficult.
I don't feel interesting.
Neither do I.
So to pull out anything about me, I was like, who cares? So I did this thing, and
Yeah.
and it's like, well, that's a thing to write about. And I was like,
Oh,
really?
good for you. See, I find everything about me endlessly fascinating.
I got to the point where I thought, who cares what I think? Let alone what I did, but
Oh,
what
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit what I think?
Oh,
Even
I'll
though
bet.
here we are on a podcast weekly talking
Yeah,
about
about
What we think. I mean,
but writing it
accidentally.
down, like, you're in the zone of writing this book, and I'm assuming like you kind of fall into this cave that's very hard to crawl out of.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're in the middle of a chapter, like digging
I
up
hated
your memories.
it. I hated it.
Who cares?
Was
Well,
it your
never-
idea?
No. I mean, someone asked me to do it, and they give you a little bit of money, and
And you're like, yeah, sure, sounds great. How
sounds
hard
great.
could
And
it
like,
be?
oh, but I remember getting up every morning going,
I'm so sick of myself.
oh yeah, I got sick of myself too, and I
yeah.
do find myself fascinating, but I got real sick real quick.
We would call each other and say, oh my God, if I have to say one more thing,
Yeah.
who cares what I think?
But here's the deal:
Okay.
people do care. They really do, and I was surprised when I was out there with the public. They did want to hear what you think and what you experienced. They want to know you more humanly. So
Interesting. I mean, well, yeah.
You're gonna love the.
We were talking to our editor yesterday. We are recording this a few days after the election, just so we put it all in perspective.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, it looks like the book took on possibly a new meaning than it did 24 hours earlier. So
different world.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
we weren't sure because our experiences, growing up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, because we're, are different age, but it's different for kids today. So we were like, is this even? Are they even going to
Relatable.
relate to this?
I think they will. I don't think they're as different as we think.
How so?
I always think that kids these days are stupider. They don't know music. They don't know who like Cary Grant is, and I shouldn't know who Cary Grant is either. But I do. I feel
they don't
like
know who Sigourney Weaver is.
Yeah. But there's still these little human beings who have feelings, and we all feel like we're alone. We all feel like we're separate. And when you write a book about your experience, and they can relate to, I mean, even like they don't have to be gay. You don't have to be a girl, but you can relate to your very human experience. And I'm sure that you wrote it very honestly, and they do care. I mean, it's kind of a drag. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm so bored with myself right now. Because also, you're not who that little girl was. You're not who that 16-year-old person was anymore. You are in some sense, but you have completely different thoughts than you did back then. You have completely different beliefs. You approach the world in a completely different way, but there are people who will really benefit from knowing how you got there.
Did you feel
hope so.
very exposed once it was out, and that anybody could read your life, read your story?
No, and maybe it's changed because we're we're so kind of aggressive with each other these days, going, aha, lots of gotchas. And I think in 2010 it was different. So I didn't feel that when I was already out. I was
Right.
and I lived kind of a vanilla life. Not a lot of dramatic stuff happened to me, but my feelings were very dramatic. And they were very deep.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
What's the name of your book? So everyone can
Happy
know.
Accidents.
And can everyone obviously can
Good
still
name.
get it?
It is a good name.
It's
I
a
had the
great
name
name.
before I wrote it.
Did you?
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, because every time something would happen for me that was good, I would go, how did I get the L word? It was a happy accident. Then I ran into Eileen at a panel.
Is
And I
that how you got the gig? Is
Yeah.
it
You've had that so many times in your career.
Yeah.
Like, okay, first of all, I have to talk about your commercial, your Nexium commercial, which
Oh, yes.
Nexium now is a sex cult, but it once was
that's right.
purple pill.
The purple
yeah.
pill for acid reflux.
Because I was doing commercials back then, and I
Right,
remember recognizing you, and I was like, "Wow!" And you made me feel better about. I was like, and then you just blew up.
right up from commercials, which people didn't do so much, but didn't it kind of give you a little hope?
I felt like I was working. I was making a little money. I was okay. That rug getting pulled out from under you.
It's not
got
easy
a
to
little
get
less.
a commercial as well.
No, especially back
No.
very. I'm surprised we didn't see each other on the circuit. But Christopher Guest did a very famous commercial, and then he
Kellogg's
discovered,
Frosted Flakes.
and it's so funny.
Yeah, it's a cute little
Wait,
thing.
you did a commercial
I did
how
a
it
commercial,
started.
not the Nexium one, the
Yes.
Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. I
with
love
Christopher
this
Guest, and that's where that
Yes,
relationship started.
Yes, that's where it started. I know, it's one of those weird things.
Happy accidents.
Happy accident. And then
accidents.
after I did that commercial, I went to, I used to go out to breakfast every morning. I loved being just like that actor life where you go to auditions and maybe you book something, but you have lunch with a friend, you have breakfast with a friend. It's a really great life to be a young actor in LA back then anyway. And I was like, do I go to the Earth Cafe or do I go to the newsroom? I was like, I want the newsroom. Yeah, remember the newsroom?
Yes.
I want that pancake that's the size of my head. So that's what I want for today. So I went into the newsroom, and who walks in but Christopher Guest? Now, what if I had gone to the Earth Cafe?
And what did he say?
love
And he
this.
he looked at me and went, oh, come here. And he said, I'm doing a movie. And can you come to my office at around 4:30, 5 o'clock? And I was like, yeah. And so I met with him. We talked for 5 minutes. He didn't, not even really about the movie, but he had the board up, and he had Jennifer Coolidge's picture up there, and Eugene and Catherine and everybody who ended up in the movie from Waiting for Guffman is what I knew them from.
Of course.
So he said, "Well, it's really great to see you." He's in, and we will, and I'll call you tomorrow at 5.
So you did an audition?
No, we just talked.
And he said, I'll call you tomorrow at 5.
Yeah.
And then you said, great to see you.
Yeah, great to
And
see
the
you.
next day he called
And
you.
he called and said, would you like to do it? We're going to Vancouver in about a month to do Best in
You
Show.
shot that in Vancouver, but
Yeah.
it's set in Philly.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I
that's
love
right.
that it
Do you
was
know
set-
Philly?
Christy
I'm from
Cummings.
You're from Philly. I thought so, yeah.
Oh my God. And that's how Best in Show
Yes.
happened.
Can you believe that, Kate? Christy
crazy?
Cummings. Listen, you've played so many iconic roles. You blow my mind. I'm like a number one fan, I have to admit.
Thank you.
I'm your number 2 fan then.
I'm like, but I just, all of your characters are so memorable. Like that part, you made that part come to life in a way that caught everybody's eyes.
Oh,
I saw that in the movie theater.
Yeah.
And whoever I saw that with, I remember we couldn't stop talking about your portrayal
Yes.
oh, thank you.
and how amazing it was.
Oh, thank you.
What do you think your secret sauce is? How is every character, a lot of actresses work a lot, right? I mean, not us, but a lot of people do.
Others do.
But
I'm kind of joining your group now.
I feel like everything you play I don't know, it sticks out.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
true.
But, and they're all very different.
Yeah.
What is it?
This
Like
it's
Sue
very
Sylvester.
hard to
Yeah.
sit here and say, well, my secret sauce is, without being sounding sounding too proud.
You're not.
No,
You're
but
not.
what's your
I'd
myth?
like to know.
What's your myth? Like, what do you play that draws us in?
I
I'm
find
trying
the
to figure it out.
emotional tenderness. I find the place where they are so embarrassed. I find the place that if they were exposed, they would crumble of shame.
So
Wait a
with
minute.
okay,
I'm
I get
trying.
it.
I'm going
character.
through all your characters.
I get
Like Sue Sylvester, like one of the
What was
ballsiest.
what was Sue
toughest-
Sylvester's weak spot?
Weak spot?
in her internal psyche there.
The innocence of babes in the world. I could almost cry talking about it.
Really?
Really?
She wore a uniform.
Mm-hmm.
She was militaristic, but she was so tender about innocence, like her own sister with Down syndrome. And I didn't even know that she was going to have a sister with Down syndrome. I knew there was some wound in there that was so tender, and if somebody got through the armor that is Sue Sylvester, she would crumble.
I get it.
Yeah.
And what about Christy from
Oh, there's
Christy
an outtake.
Cummings.
Yeah, Christy
Yeah, Christy
Cummings.
Cummings.
There's
You
an
have an
outtake
outtake?
where
What is it?
it's where she says, I'm going to win this thing, and then all those people in whatever this upstate town in upstate New York that went to high school with me, who were so mean to me, I hope they see this and wish they were nicer to me. Wish they had been nicer to me.
God, that's so clever.
Wow.
Joyce Wishnia, what was that
Oh
little
my God, she's almost unimpenetrable. It's such a strong, but it's kind of the Sue Sylvester thing. She would fall a part of shame that she's not as strong as you think she is. You've met people like that. They kind of walk around like this.
Yeah,
They're everywhere.
And then you see a
So
moment.
confident.
You see a moment where they get ashamed. Like maybe they went to hug somebody and the person went to shake instead. That is a moment of.
I've had relationships with these people. Like,
Oh, I thought you meant your relationship was
more
a-
verbose they are, like
Yeah.
they're damaged.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's
Okay.
not an
what
easy
about
con-
sass? Saz.
Oh, you know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
She doesn't. She wears it on the outside.
She does.
She's
so,
guileless.
talk about tender.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's all on
she's
the.
a
It's her
heartbreaker.
strength. It's her strength. Is her tenderness is her strength. That she's guileless. She doesn't have bad thoughts about anybody. That's why when this kid betrays her, she's like, it takes the wind out of her.
It's like he took her innocence away. Like
Yes.
her thoughts.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
the world is like that. You take care of people.
You take care of it. You get a number one. You find that number one, and you are there for them for the rest of your life. And they don't even have to thank you. It's like, who cares? They don't have to thank me because Steve is kind of like this about me. Going,
Yeah.
or Charles, he's like, says, and it doesn't bother me at all.
I thought of Saz and I was like, what if Saz worked? Because as Steve, like being a number one, or Charles, like he was a pretty good one, right? What if Saz worked for like an asshole? Do you think she would have had the same?
She probably wouldn't have been as attracted to make him her number one.
Yeah.
She said, you know it when you find it. And when I met him, I found it.
That's your number one.
That's the one. This is the one that I will live the rest of my life for. I will protect him. I will keep him from harm. But he has to be worthy of it. And I think she's just one of those people who happy accidents abound for her. She finds people, she finds girlfriends. She's best friends with everybody on the set. She gives him a social life. So things happen easily for her because she kind of goes through life easily.
And is that show as fun to work on as it is to watch?
I mean, it has to be.
Does it so it translates?
It's not like, this is crazy fun.
No, being on a set is hard work. It's
almost,
not, but
it's like almost like being
fun.
at a really nice dinner party with people that you really like, who are really funny.
That's heaven.
Yeah, it is.
That's delicious.
You girls had that on the L Word for the most part with each other anyway.
Yes.
I don't know how you.
Yeah, no, we did.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a comedy show like where you're, around like these geniuses that are like, I mean, that set, come on.
Yeah, that's really nice. And it's a beautiful set too. And it's, one of those. I love design. Like I love your house and I feel the same way about
every
that
set on that show is like dream.
You shoot that, and was that in New York?
That's in New York.
It's in New York. Yeah. So did you just relocate for the time being?
I wasn't there that long. I only did like 3 episodes every season, and I did 5. It was like the L Word for me. I did 5 this season. So I stay in a hotel.
Okay. You leave your nest in Montecito.
Yeah, exactly.
Come to the East Coast and abscond when you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you met Eileen by choice. I'm sorry, I'm going to flip back. Just
Yeah,
because
sure.
we never finished that thought.
Yeah.
You met Eileen by chance at a panel?
Well, sort of by chance. I went there on purpose because I love the L Word so much. And it was,
you? Okay.
Yeah. It was Eileen and I believe Angela Robinson.
Okay.
And they were doing a panel somewhere. And so I went to this panel and I went up to her afterwards, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking I'd love to be in this show. And so I shook her hand. I said, "It's so nice to meet you. I love the show so much." She said, "Would you do it?" I said, "In a New York minute."
And then thus was born Joyce
Yeah,
Vishnia.
yeah, exactly. I don't know if she came up with the character first.
It's one of my favorite characters on that show in the entirety of the series. It always has been.
Oh, thank you guys.
It's like
it was a joy to do.
I was always
loved
excited when I was in a scene with you, even though we had zero reason to interact with each other.
Yeah.
But you would always,
What's
she
the
would
divorce lawyer
Yeah,
doing
she's like,
here?
come on, kid, go on over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. And I was like, yes, let's go. I was always so grateful, although those moments were so brief.
Yeah.
And I was secretly jealous of Laurel.
Yeah.
Because she got to work with you so much. I'm like,
Both of them.
how was your
Yeah.
day with Jane? Was
I
it
know.
fun?
I've had sex with a pregnant woman before. I remember it was one of the. Remember how big and pregnant she was, and then
Yes.
I'm coming on to her.
Yeah. It was
I don't know
amazing.
that you could do that now.
Well, it was a special time.
It was.
The L Word.
On Glee too. I looked at some of the things we said and did.
Oh,
and
I'm
we,
sure.
we might get canceled.
Is there a character that you've always dreamed of playing or a type of person?
Type of person. Gosh, that's a good question because usually people say, is there a role out there you really
No, I
want
know.
to play?
And you're like,
hard-
I don't
yeah,
know.
you
We
like,
get
I don't know,
that.
that's
We
a
get that one.
bullshit
And also
question.
you age
Yeah,
out
but-
of the original
but I
ideas you
mean-
had, and you're like, well, fuck, 30 years ago I'd say this, but
Yeah.
now I'm too old.
Yeah.
So forget
I
it.
mean more in a fun way.
In a
Like-
fun way. Well, I've played some really fun people to play. Oh gosh, I can't think of anything because I'm playing Saz Pataki now, and she's someone I've never played before. That's so sweet and good, and and it has nothing really but lightness inside. I usually play dark people, so
Right.
that has been really fun. So no, I can't think of anybody.
I love the way you just walked to your car before the guy came out. Just like you just have like a sweetness about your character. That, like I love her. I hope you come back as a ghost.
Yeah.
More.
Oh, I have.
More. No,
More.
I
Oh,
know
well,
You
thank
more.
are
you.
going to come back as a ghost.
I
more.
have not next season, but we'll see.
I believe in it.
Jane Lynch, it is an honor
no.
to have you on Pants.
Oh, it's
Honestly, Jane.
best
thank you
one.
so much for
I
being with us
wanted
today.
to be asked.
And you know what?
Kind of invited myself.
Had we known sooner, you would have been here months,
Yeah.
and months, years and years
Well,
ago.
thank you.
But now you get to
Well,
be in the studio.
we have very dear friends in common. And
Yeah.
they
Right.
spread the word.
Yeah,
Justine
exactly.
and Tina were like, Jane wants to come on Pants. And I was like,
Yeah, Justine.
give me your number.
Do you know
Absolutely.
Justine and Tina?
I've met Justine through
Yes.
Leisha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, they're
I've
great.
They're the best.
Justine
We
was
called them
lovely.
Justina.
Oh, I never
Kinda
thought
cute.
of that.
It's not even that
smart.
clever, is
It's a
it?
ship name.
No, actually, that's really that's
Yeah,
it
ship name.
simplifies it.
Yeah, Justina.
So you want to start a podcast? You were telling us when you
we'll
walked
see.
in.
Yeah.
Well,
yes,
let's
yes.
go. What do you?
Kate
Let's
Flannery
riff.
and I, Kate was Meredith the Drunk in the Office. And she's my singing partner. And we love late 50s, early 60s kind of jazz music, kind of like the studio stuff.
Nice.
The Frank Sinatra, I can't think of one woman right now. Oh, Rosemary Clooney, that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And we love really tight harmonies and stuff like that, jazz bands. And so I think that would be a wonderful subject for a podcast. Bring in people who are musicians now. They don't even have to play that kind of music, but it just seems any musician worth their salt knows this kind of music and would love to have conversations with us about
So
it.
would you talk about the music or
Yeah, I
actually
think we talk
sing?
about
I think
the
you
music.
should perform.
I
as
think we
well.
should perform
think
too.
you
We'll
should
probably
have-
do a little of that too.
You should have guests too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
that's
No, we'll have
that's what
guests.
she's saying.
Yeah,
So
like
musicians.
musicians. You know what else might be fun is to get people like the relatives, the living relatives of some of those folks who
to
have
tell the
passed on.
story. Get
and
George
tell
Clooney.
George Clooney. Yeah, look at her. Get George Clooney.
Fuck it. Go big. Go home.
And do you have a do you have a
It's true.
title? Like
Oh,
a possible title?
swing this.
Ooh.
Is that
it's
cute?
Great.
Do you like
I
that?
love it.
I just came up with it.
Yeah,
It's
I like
off
it
the
a
top
lot.
of my head.
You also came up with a great book title before you wrote the book.
I
so
did.
I'm going to
Yeah.
give you props for you thinking ahead of the game.
Thank you.
Swing
Yeah.
this.
Do the
Sometimes-
title, make it happen.
Exactly. Sometimes when you do the title, you kind of paint yourself into a corner or you put the cart before the horse. But sometimes it's the thing that gets you there too.
Totally.
You go, oh, I will call it.
Yeah.
Swing this with Jane Lynch and Kate Flannery coming to you soon.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone
Coming
keep a lookout for that. I think
Absolutely.
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
we want to give you a pants hat.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yay.
You
Do you
guys
wear
have the
baseball
littlest
caps?
head in the world. Look what happens.
Oh.
Look what happens.
All right, give it back. Give it back.
You're welcome back here anytime
Thank you.
you like.
Yes.
Thank you,
Like,
thank you.
I hope the
anytime,
drive was
text
worth it.
Leisha and say, hey, I want to come on Pants and
Yes.
Bullshit.
Great. And if you ever need somebody just to bullshit with, like if someone cancels, just let me know.
Great.
Yes, please. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thanks, Jane.
Good. Thanks.
Lynch.
We didn't even introduce me. Hi, I'm Jane Lynch and I'm on Pants.